This is the Nightshade Cult, a podcast macabre.
We bid you welcome. Enter freely and of your own will.
I'm Nick Grimm.
And I'm David Graves.
And we'll be your horror hosts for this dissection of Terence Fisher's 1957 Gothic horror, The Curse of Frankenstein.
Good evening.
So, we're back. We're back to Castle Frankenstein.
Yeah.
We've only been away for a couple months, but there's another Frankenstein movie coming out, and this was a movie I wanted us to cover sooner rather than later. I kind of wished we could have squeezed it in before Del Toro's Frankenstein because it's such a huge influence on it. But better late than never.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, there was a quote about after Napoleon died and people were lamenting him and wishing he was back. Someone said, we've got the emperor in our guts. And I'm just like, we've got the baron in our guts.
Yeah, we've got a lot. We have swallowed a lot of Frankenstein over these last few months.
Yeah.
I had only seen this movie one time before. I owned it, but I had not watched it repeatedly. Mm-hmm. And I was not super into it the time that I watched it before. And we've covered the movie that kind of immediately follows this in the Hammer timeline, The Horror of Dracula, on a very early episode, and I didn't love that either.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
But I locked in with this movie much more this time than I had on the previous viewing, and it makes me curious to revisit Horror of Dracula someday, because I think I'm starting to get Hammer in a way that I hadn't.
Yeah, I think I was feeling the same way because I was watching this movie and I was like, so it started up and I'm like, okay, another old ass Frankenstein movie, and let's see where we're at here. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I was instantly vibing with it. So I was not sure what to think, and it was very pleasant. And this was the opener for the Hammer decade of dominance, basically.
Yeah, so they were being very successful with sort of sci-fi horror leading up to this. The Quatermass experiment and X the Unknown did really good business for them. At this point, Universal has they're still kind of petering out the last of their sort of horror era, but they have abandoned Gothic period pieces entirely. It's this is the era of atomic monsters and alien invaders, and they're not thinking corsets and waistcoats and parlors and things and Gothic castles. That's no longer where Universal's head is at.
Yeah, they kind of lost the plot. I mean, because I like Gothic horror. I'm sure there are people who prefer that kind of atomic age stuff, but not me.
Yeah.
And this movie was made really cheap. So
very cheap.
I like that. It was made for only £65,000. So that's about $250K in 2026 dollars.
Yeah, and
that's
then
cheap.
Made 70 times its budget back or something crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, 70 times its production cost. It was just, this thing was just on fire.
Yeah. So it was there was a note that one of the producers sent to one of the other ones, where it was London is in a heat wave and nothing is making money except for The Curse of Frankenstein. Dracula 3 ? And so they just immediately, with all the same people, go into Dracula.
Yes, that's true. And this is cool because it's basically Universal style Frankenstein, and they have this Technicolor blood, and
Eastman. It's Eastman Color, not.
Oh, my bad. Not Technicolor.
Yeah, not
Eastman Color.
It's a totally different color process.
Yeah, but nowadays in the modern vernacular, this sort of ultra vivid retro color is called Technicolor.
Everyone just says Technicolor. That's true.
Yeah, but this is Hammer horror at its finest. I mean, this is they're really going out, and I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, it is totally a vibe, and it's interesting how this sort of came to fall in their laps. So Max Rosenberg originally he approached Michael Carreras at Hammer Studios about producing a Frankenstein movie. He had a script, and the script was by Milton Subotsky, and those two guys basically get shut out of this process. Like after Hammer pays them a $5,000 like finder's fee basically for the script, doesn't use their script and kind of goes in their own direction with it. And then those guys go on to found Amicus Films, which was Hammer's biggest competitor, because they had sour grapes about getting pushed out of their Frankenstein project.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really win that war, that competitive
No,
game.
I mean, I'm sure, I don't know the Amicus Films, but I'm sure they have their own ardent fan base. Everything does.
Well, now we're going to have to find the best of
the
Amicus
best of Amicus.
films.
Yeah, probably.
Films. This one was interesting because it was considered the first really gory horror film because the blood and guts were in color.
Yeah.
I didn't find it to be gory at all, but not by a modern sensibility.
No, and it's there's blood, like everything. They refer to it as Kensington gore, which I guess is like their formula for blood of like corn syrup and food coloring and whatever else they use. But I don't find it excessive. It'd be like you see Peter Cushing like sawing the head off of a body, and you're mostly just like watching the sawing motion and the sounds, and then he lifts his hand up and wipes it off on the lapel and leaves a red smear. Yeah,
but this movie in Britain, it received the first rated X rating, and it was created for this. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, and then they just embraced that X rating as sort of like, this is the new shit.
Yeah,
right?
This is the horror movie you must see. If you don't see this movie, you're not a cinema fan.
Yeah, and so like there's a lot of sort of lost scenes and things like that were cut because they were too gruesome. Like when he goes and puts the head into the acid bath.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, they shot that, made an elaborate like a wax head and melted it. And that footage is just gone, but I would love to see that because it sounds like it was quite a sequence they put together.
And I didn't realize how influential this movie was. There's been lots of people who have talked about it, like Martin Scorsese and Tim Burton and Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what was special about this version of Frankenstein.
I think if you're of that, particularly like the movie brat generation, Scorsese, Lucas, Spielberg, this was their generation's Frankenstein. Like how we feel about Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
This is that for them. Like this and Horror of Dracula.
All right.
It was their generation. Like it's not black and white anymore. It's bloodier. It's sexier. You've got these like powerhouse Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was something, the old movies, like the Universal movies were on TV all the time, but this was like the new theatrical experience.
Oh yeah, this is the new hotness. All right, you want to play the music and get into our dissection?
Sure. More than 100 years ago, in a mountain village in Switzerland, lived a man whose strange experiments with the dead have since become legend. The legend is told with horror the world over. It is the legend of the Curse of Frankenstein. Normally I write my own synopsis, but this one opens with like a nice title card that even with the clunky transition of Legend of the Curse of, I still just sort of fell in love with that opener.
Yeah, this is really interesting because they were Fisher did not watch Whale's 31 version of the movie before he made this.
Yeah, Fisher is apparently was not a big horror fan at all.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Sangster, who wrote the screenplay, claimed to have never seen the James Whale Frankenstein, and just to have based his screenplay off the treatment that they had and the book.
And the book, yeah.
Which he was a fan of the book. And part of that is just Universal had laid down the law very early on, like, Frankenstein's in public domain. We can't stop you from making this movie, but if in any way you infringe on any of our copyrights, we're going to sue the pants off of you.
Yeah.
And so they, it doesn't like it's not. It doesn't follow the same plot line as the Universal movie. It doesn't resemble the Universal movie in any way. Well, there's a couple sequences.
I mean, you kind of have to a little bit.
Yeah, it does sort of with the little boy by the edge of the water. I feel like they're like that's where they get the closest to where you like, oh, he's going to throw that kid in the water. I know what's going to happen. I've seen this before, and then they don't show it to us.
Yeah, I think they were smart to go with the book, avoiding the legal nonsense and all of that, but also. I think that there were some, like the Whale version kind of had its own trappings and its own thing. I'm much happier to have a different take on the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of how Del Toro gave us a different take on the movie. I like that.
Yeah, and so it starts with a framing device, which so does the book, where the book starts in the Arctic. Mm-hmm. But the geography of Hammer movies always feels very condensed.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the budget to go all over the place. And so rather than on a Arctic icebreaker ship, we open with the Baron in prison, and he's telling his story to a priest, basically, that's there to give him the last rites.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm not so sure I loved that framing device. I actually thought this is the mind experiment. What if they cut it from the front and the back of the movie? I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, but then I think the movie becomes too short.
Okay.
Because the treatment that they started working off of, they estimated it was only going to be about 50 minutes.
Whoa.
And so you need to hit that 75 mark to be a real movie.
Yeah.
And so the framing device does sort of pad out the runtime. And I feel like it's important character stuff for the Baron, because we meet the Baron when he's at his lowest, but he is unrepentant. He's proud of what he's done, and he's more concerned with dying for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? He fully admits to this priest to murdering multiple people and grave robbing and all of this stuff, but he wants it known that he created a new life.
Yeah,
and he didn't murder his maid. His monster murdered his maid.
Yeah, I think that they definitely went with some writing decisions and things that were dictated by budget, because when you have somebody like Peter Cushing, he can really kind of chew on the scenery. You can just open up a scene with the guy, and he's going, and this movie is really about character work. It's not about special effects and all of that. Even the monster itself is less dramatic than other versions of the monster. But I thought it was really interesting how this movie was very much about the interaction of characters and the moral like quandary behind the creation of the monster, not really about the monster itself.
Yeah, it's very light on monster, which I think is probably what turned me off on this movie the first time I watched it. And that's something unique to the Hammer movies, is they really make Peter Cushing's Baron Victor von Frankenstein into the star of these movies.
Yeah.
He's the one that comes back again and again, and he makes new creations kind of in every movie. And the monster is not the star. Frankenstein is the star of these movies.
Yes. And I have no problem with that. I really think that that's it's very apparent in the Del Toro version as well, that the Baron is who you're following. This isn't about a monster; it's about a man.
Yeah, and Peter Cushing is so good. I mean, we'll talk more about it in the performances, but like, he's just so awesome in this role. As good as he is as Van Helsing, he is like having the time of his life as Baron Frankenstein. And
I like that he's thoroughly evil. Like they don't try to gussy it up and make him like morally gray to where you can kind of like sort of cheer for him and understand where he's coming from. Nah, this is a bad guy.
He is. Total sociopath, right? Like, he has no morals at all. All that matter, like I do think he's fond of certain people. Like I think he likes Paul a great deal.
Yeah.
That's the only person he seems to have any real sort of connection to. But
as soon as Paul disagrees with him, he's just like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So this fits under story. The most brilliant thing is how he weaponizes his wealth. Because he keeps everyone dependent on him.
Absolutely.
Which is like, it's such a tactic of a rich guy. And he's been rich his whole life and has been the Baron since he was like 15 years old. And he brings Paul in as a tutor to tutor him. Yeah. And basically
he just keeps him,
gets Paul accustomed to a certain lifestyle that he can't leave, So even when Paul wants to stop being involved in the experiments, the Baron is sort of like, all right, you stop. I'm just going to keep going. And he doesn't kick him out of the house. But it's like Paul's just like stomping around his room like, oh, I just can't believe he's still in there working on this project, But he's like crucially not going anywhere. He's not he's not moving out.
Yeah, Frankenstein asked him at some point, like, why are you still here?
Why are you still here?
Yeah, and it's interesting. I like how this is really about hubris and corruption. This is kind of, this is like just a movie about a rich, evil guy.
Yeah.
There aren't really any heroes here. Sort of Paul grows a conscience at some point, but he was bad for a long time.
Paul was fine as long as we were doing this to puppies.
Yeah.
but when it's moved on to people, he's got serious reservations about it.
Yeah.
But not so much that he moves out. It takes him a long time to finally move out of the house.
Yeah, it's just an interesting decision to make this movie just sort of about villainy.
Yeah.
There's not really a heroic arc in here.
No, and there's no redemptive arc for the Baron. The Baron, he's a shitty kid when we first encounter him at 15. And he is like an unrepentant monster by the end as he's being marched off to the guillotine.
Well, and the monster itself, they don't try to make it like an identifiable, pitiable thing. It's just a monster.
It's pretty sad, though.
It's a sad monster, but it's not like a good guy.
No, it is not. Pity is the right word. It's pitiful. It's not. It's not like Karloff's monster, where it's got a great deal of like pathos
or childlike traits.
It does. Lee's monster is childlike in its behavior, but it's more. I heard somebody say it's more playing the brain damage.
Yeah,
because he has a brain that was bashed in a bag
Yes. Why did he keep using that brain? Like, he knows he got it from the brilliant scientist.
Yeah.
And then, dang it, Paul, you ruined the brain.
This is your fault, Paul.
Yeah, why didn't he get a different brain? Your Paul's brain.
Yeah, but I think he actually likes Paul.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
That would be the bridge too far, is killing Paul. Paul's the only person he has any loyalty at all to. Not even Elizabeth really is he that loyal. He
kind of is. He's sort of loyal to his cousin wife.
But yeah, Paul's the only person like even when you have the creation sequence, and he's running around and doing it by himself, he stops because he's like, Paul should be here for this.
Yeah.
Like, we did all this together. And it's that absence of Paul that bothers him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's the only person he loves is Paul and nobody else.
Yeah. So I think we move on to visuals here.
One more thing I wanted to say about the story.
All right.
Because you were talking earlier about how influential this is. A very recent episode that I think I didn't realize it at the time, but after watching it, I see it. Alien Earth is so influenced by this.
I can see that.
Baron Frankenstein is Boy Cavalier.
That's true. I hate Boy Cavalier, but I don't hate Baron.
I love Baron Frankenstein. It's because it's if we met the in-between age.
Yeah. We met that. He's. I bet you in 20 years, Boy Cavalier would be a little more palatable if he ever made it that long.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping, knock on wood, that aliens eat him before then.
Yeah. He's not going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be a host for something, but he's not going to make it.
Yeah. Oh, please. Eyeball monster, move into Boy Cavalier. Okay, so moving on to visuals. Cinematography by Jack Asher. Mm-hmm. Production design by Bernard Robertson. Costume design by Molly Arbuthnot. And makeup effects by Phil Leakey. This is the Hammer Dream Team. This is all the same people you're going to see over and over again. Curse of Frankenstein, Horror of Dracula, The Mummy, Curse of the Werewolf. These people come back over and over again.
Yeah, I mean this movie looks so vivid. This Eastman Color palette is just rocks off the screen.
It is sumptuous. The reds are so bright. Like Paul's his bathrobe, he has like this brocade red silk robe that he wears when he's fretting around his room wondering what the Baron's doing. I'm
pretty sure those two dudes were an item.
I'm so glad you said that, because everyone talks about how Paul's in love with Elizabeth, right? Like that comes up, and certainly he's very concerned with her safety.
He's just trying to be a good guy.
Yeah, I felt the only chemistry was between Paul and Victor. And that neither of them really was particularly interested in Elizabeth, other than as a beard sort of situation.
Like a trophy wife kind of thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a queer-coded movie before that was a thing.
Yeah, it felt like it to me. So I'm really glad you said that, because I was thinking, you always think everything's gay, Nick. You know?
Well, you kind of do, but I also thought this was gay.
Okay, good. Yes, Paul seems like there's a scene where like there's one of the Paul is shaving and young Victor comes in and they're kind of both kind of half dressed, and I was like, they're kind of doing it, aren't they? Like I just feel like it just feels like there's something going on here. Just two guys living in a castle.
Yeah, it's definitely a little off, but for the time, but more power to him.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason why Paul didn't move out and why Victor didn't kick him out. He's hoping he'd come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved how this movie looked like they made no attempt to make it look realistic.
No.
It was stylized from the start.
Yeah. It's like and this is partially because it's practically all in one location. It's all in the castle.
Yeah.
There's a few out like outdoors shots, the stuff with the blind man, but basically everything happens on the grounds of the Frankenstein castle in Switzerland, which looks an awful lot like Dracula's castle in Horror of Dracula.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Basically the exact same place, just with different furniture.
Did Hammer ever make a Nosferatu?
No, because Nosferatu's just Dracula
but
with the trademark
kind of became its own thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe not. The just not to harp too much on the Eastman Color, but it was crazy because the different newspapers and stuff, they were treating it as like the first time people saw movies in 4K.
Yeah.
These days they're like, you can see every little thing.
Yeah.
They're like, each clumsy stitch, each scar, you can see it perfectly.
Yeah.
They were really enamored by this.
Well, so at this point in the late 50s, it's still not done. Like horror, like color movies have been around since The Wizard of Oz or earlier. Mm-hmm. But horror movies were, as a sort of lowbrow thing, were still done in black and white. No one was bothering to shoot horror movies in color.
Yeah, it cost money.
Yeah, so this was a real sort of upgrade to do this. And they make the most of it. Like those sequences that are in the woods with the monster and the blind man and everything. Mm-hmm. They painted the berries red so that they would pop. Because there's like these red berries and autumn leaves, and sort of like the actual landscape was not as colorful as that. So they went through and painted things so they would pop on camera.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that in the Hobbit movie trilogy. They painted a bunch of scenery. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you going to talk about your trip?
I mean,
later
maybe later. Yeah,
okay.
That's not what I'm pulling out of the vault, but I'll mention it because it's
good.
current.
Then I won't bring it up now. Then.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was really cool. I really enjoyed the lab. There's something about a Frankenstein movie that requires a completely bitchin' lab.
Yeah, their lab is awesome, and it's so different from like the Strickfaden like electrodes and Jacob's ladders and everything. This one is more bubbling chemicals and glass boxes.
Lots of like alchemical goo and things. I don't know. It's cool.
I mean, there's like a big capacitor. What do you call it when like the thing like that spins around as the electricity pulses through it? I think that's a capacitor.
Yeah, I think so. Something.
There's just all sorts of cool gadgets in there. The first time we see the lab, that sequence with the puppy. Fake puppy in the water, not the real one.
And then a real puppy.
As far as I've been able to tell, I have been assured that the puppy was fine and actually was adopted by one of the members of the cast and named Frankie and lived a long life.
Well, that's great because I mean, like when you're watching that and I see the puppy, I'm like, they better not have killed a puppy for this movie.
Right.
And then you see like the next scene and it's like the puppy is so cute and vibrant and alive. I was like, did they film it in reverse?
Did they drown this puppy? No. Yeah, it was a dummy puppy in the water, and then just a very good dog laying still. But if you because I backed it up and watched it again, he's breathing and stuff while he's laying there, and his
just wet
and like doing a good job staying very still, but you can tell the puppy's ready to get up and run around like puppies do.
Yeah. So I really liked the lab.
Yeah.
You know what didn't quite so much as far as, like a looks go, what didn't land?
Yeah.
The creature.
Yeah.
What's with this creature?
So legendary makeup designer Phil Leakey. Certainly a lot of people love this monster. I have never loved this makeup.
Because the thing is Christopher Lee is in my pantheon of favorite actors. Top 3.
Yeah.
But he does not look good in this.
No, it's, there's things I like about it that Del Toro does, obviously with a much bigger budget.
Yeah, more modern tech.
Because especially like when you get after he's been lobotomized and the side of his head is shaved, which
It's punk rock.
yeah, I do like, and I like the one glassy eye, which gets shot out and then replaced.
Yeah.
I like parts of it, but it's ugly. It is ugly makeup, and it looks like a Romero zombie. It doesn't, to me, there's nothing about it that looks like Frankenstein's monster to me.
So they didn't seem to do, like, I understand that Karloff is tall.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the thing is, Christopher Lee's pretty tall, too, but they didn't do any of the forced perspective stuff that makes you think he's, like, really tall or, like, platforms or anything. He looks drowned. Like, he kind of looks... I don't know, like he looks like he is like a bog corpse or something.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, he is a hanged man that's been pecked at by birds.
Sure.
But not the head, right? They make a point of sawing the head off that body, and this is a different head. It's different. Yeah. It's different hands. But I do think it is supposed to look like a ragged corpse and not like something that was finely crafted.
Yeah, and it, you know, everything I've read, it says that they were intentionally trying to do something different, a new look. They didn't want to look like the Karloff version because, I mean, they didn't want to get sued.
They didn't want to get sued.
But this did look like a zombie.
Yeah, it looks, which that's not common yet, though. Like zombie, like at this point, a zombie is still like a Haitian voodoo zombie, and the sort of Walking Dead kind of zombie has not entered the popular consciousness yet.
Yeah, I mean, we get some in the Del Toro creature has a lot owed to this creature, more so than the Karloff one, I would say. And that kind of is not a big, smashy, robot-y golem, flesh golem, and it's done more. I guess it's just a refined version of this, and so it's hard to, you can't really compare these movies 50 or 75 years apart almost.
Yeah, and with just a fraction of the budget, you know, they're working with very little, and I think it's an icon. It's an iconic silhouette, but you do get such a good look at it that the sort of its shortcomings are very apparent. I like the rough cut around the neck. Like, it does look like this thing has had its head hacksawed off.
Yeah. But he didn't use any latex or molds. He was using like cotton and things.
Yeah.
It feels like a theater production version of a Frankenstein, not a movie, not Hollywood.
Yeah, which is meant to read at a distance, right? Like, you would, you know, sitting in your seats in a theater looking up at a guy on stage, you would like, that looks really good. And then like anytime you've seen theater makeup up close,
it's like overwrought and not convincing.
It does not look good, but it looks good from out in the seats. And this is I mean, I think we're probably committing sacrilege to some people here, but
to some people this is their favorite one. It's not my favorite one.
I just feel I've never liked this makeup, and that's always been sort of a barrier to me getting into this movie, frankly.
I feel sacrilegious shit talking a Christopher Lee character.
And I mean, we'll talk more about it, but I think his performance is very strong.
He just kind of looks weird.
He's acting through not ideal makeup, in my opinion. But the costumes, I do like very much. I like the period costumes.
While we're on visuals, I think Bernard Robinson's sets are all pretty great. Like, this movie looks like, I like this castle. I mean, it's great because they reuse it so many times. It's good that I like it. Because I think this movie just looks awesome. Like the places where it's at, all the set dressing, all of the things that they've done to kind of make this place home. And this was most of this inside stuff was all filmed in a studio.
Yeah, Bray Studios.
So that's pretty cool. They did some movie magic there. Made me think it was a castle.
Yeah, and I'm going to put the links in the show notes to the documentary about Hammer Studios. What's that movie called? Flesh and Blood: The Hammer Heritage of Horror. It's a great documentary. Hammer really was like kind of like a family operation. Like, they're all out there essentially in a British manor house that they have converted into a movie studio. And there's a reason why the same people come back again and again in these movies.
They're all broke.
They're all broke, but they there was a real sense of esprit de corps and fraternity, but at Hammer Studios.
Yeah, you want to move on to audio?
Yeah, let's talk about the audio. It's music by James Bernard and sound by Jock May. I listened to Bernard's score twice here in the afternoon. It's a classic sort of like anxious strings and big bombastic crescendos.
Yeah, it is exactly what you think. It's the suspense and the bombast all together.
Yeah, I love it. I love that sort of thing. It's not a subtle score. It clubs you over the head.
Yeah.
It's very in your face, but it is totally in keeping with the style of the movie.
Yeah, and this is horror movies at the time. I don't hate it, but when I was watching it, the sound makes it feel really old-timey.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I wonder what these would sound like if like a more modern, a more subtle composer took their hand to it.
I mean, probably like Alexander Desplat's score for Del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or maybe some needle drops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if the studio's giving you notes, they probably put Rolling Stones' "Sympathy for the Devil" in there.
Absolutely.
They would just have to do that. It's like, so we'll know he's a bad guy when you play "Sympathy for the Devil."
Yes.
It's like, oh my god.
Let's just give Junkie XL a chance.
Yeah, I bet
he'd do a good job.
I would love Tom Holkenborg to do a Frankenstein score,
or the dude from Bone Tomahawk. That was a dope score.
Oh, it is. And, honestly, it's this score reminded me quite a bit of the Bone Tomahawk score. Some of the horn stuff, I was like, oh, this is what... I'm blanking on Bone Tomahawk guy's name.
Yeah, I can't... But the multi-genre musician and director.
Yeah, but it's sort of he's pulling a little bit from this toolkit too.
I was off topic, but still in audio. I was listening to this Italian metal band called Mesa, like Messa.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they had an album that made a lot of people's top 10 last year called The Spin.
Okay,
I almost featured it, so I don't feel bad talking about it now. I almost pulled it out of the vault, but there's a couple songs on there where there's like a trumpet that comes in, and at first I was like, what is this? In this progressive-ish metal, it really works. Yeah. This is texture. This is power. Like I was watching or listening to that after I saw this movie, and I was like, this kind of reminds me of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And you think of like those Italian like spaghetti westerns and like giallo horror movies, like their scores. That's all kind of pulling from these same influences for sure.
Absolutely. I liked this. I didn't think it was something that I would write home about, but I did think that it was good and proper.
Yeah. I hearted like a Hammer horror compilation album on my streamer, but I didn't order the vinyl. That's sort of where I'm at with this. Like, I kind of dig this, but not like I don't need to own it. Like, it's not on that
enough
level.
That it can be in my algorithm.
Yes, exactly. I would like this to seed my algorithm with similar things.
For sure.
Is that it for audio?
Yeah, I think so.
We can brush through that and get into the casting. This is really what we want to talk
really
about.
Like 2 and then some other 3 maybe people in this movie, and then some also played.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe like a core cast of like 4.
Yeah.
But starting with the great Peter Cushing as Baron Victor Frankenstein.
So I came, I was traveling. I was totally mentally checked out, and I downloaded this movie to my laptop. I didn't prep. I watched it cold, and then I prepped afterwards.
Okay. And so you watched this while you were flying?
Yeah. And sometimes I like to do that. I like to watch a movie cold and then read about it.
You go in without preconceptions.
Yeah. And so like Peter Cushing comes on the screen, and I'm like, oh, he's in this.
Yeah.
This can be good. And I already knew that Christopher Lee was in this. And I should have known that Cushing. And then I was just not disappointed. I was like, man, he's killing it. Even in this framing device they should delete.
Yeah. He's ragged in prison, and he's got like fake 12 o'clock shadow on his face.
They did the old hobo thing with the coffee grounds.
Yeah. But he looks a proper ragged mess.
Yeah, absolutely.
His performance is incredible, and like I get it why they brought him back like 6 more times to play this character. And I've watched a lot of like synopses of the various Frankenstein movies. I haven't seen all the other ones, but I think he takes the character to very kind of the madness and pathos of the character just sort of builds over these movies.
Yeah, the more I read about him in this performance, so many people were calling it like a career-defining role.
Yeah.
Because he just kind of dials it to 11.
It is interesting because we of the generation, we're Gen Xers or young Gen Xers, cuspers.
Yeah.
We know him from Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Grand Moff Tarkin is the thing that we know him from, but this is
rest in power, King.
Yeah, but this really is his signature role.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my first introduction to him was with Grand Moff Tarkin, and I thought he was awesome then.
Yeah,
he was my favorite Imperial guy, except Darth Vader, of course,
because there's this like aloof coldness and precision to him. He as the kids would say, he has aura. Oh, yes, he does. He has so much aura. And it's just like, he's not raving. Like Colin Clive was like a raving Dr. Frankenstein. He is like and he's not quite detached either. He's passionate. He's horny. He's hooking up with probably Paul, but also Justine.
And probably Hazel. I mean Elizabeth. Not Hazel the actress.
Yeah, and it's like, so he's not like cold, but he's
charismatic. He's powerful.
He's very charismatic and powerful and completely heartless. That's the thing.
He's sinister. This dude is just dark.
He invites an old man that he admires over to his house to murder.
He's like, I'd like to have that brain.
Yeah, and the old man is so sweet. He's just like, it's just nice to get invited out.
Exactly. He's so happy to be asked over.
And he's like, oh, and Paul's here? You're 2 brilliant young minds. Oh, boy. I'm sleepy because I'm an old man, but I'm so glad to be here hanging out with you lovely people.
Exactly.
And Victor's like, let me show you to your room. Push.
Yeah, he's like, check out this painting. It's best viewed from the rail. Oopsie.
Yeah, and then like a saint, because Dr. Bernstein doesn't have any living relatives, the Baron offers to bury him in the family crypt.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Hardmuth is the player of the professor. Good job.
Yeah.
That was a good role.
Yeah, very memorable, brief cameo, basically.
Yeah, he was convincing. And, I mean, Peter Cushing's Baron was just absolutely sinister and amazing. He was. I mean, I know this is bold. Probably the best performance in the movie.
Hot take. But, like, is he the best Baron Frankenstein?
Is he?
I don't know. I mean,
who would be?
I honestly like all of them very much, but he is so much fun.
I mean, Isaac is great.
Oscar Isaac is great. I love Colin Clive.
Yeah, he's actually really good, too.
I like sexy Kenneth Branagh very much.
There's something about the Kenneth Branagh Frankenstein that doesn't sit right, but you kind of like it.
Yeah. He's like, I should be shirtless and covered in lube for this.
He's too Fabio for Frankenstein.
Yeah, he is very fabulous. Peter Cushing, just so good. And then, of course, you got to have a brief mention for like the only surviving cast member, Melvin Hayes, who plays the young Victor Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, he's still alive, isn't he?
He is like such an entitled little shit.
He does a great job.
Yeah, and just when he's trying to get his aunt and cousin out of the house, and he's like, yeah, I know my mother was paying you. I will continue paying you. Go.
Yeah.
Get out of
She's
here.
She's like, on the first. He's like, I know. Go.
I'm a 15-year-old with a castle, and I'm ready to get into weird shit.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, to his credit, he did pay. He kept paying the pension.
Yeah, because it's like, one day I'm going to marry that girl so people don't think I'm weird.
They'll still think you're weird.
They'll still think you're weird. And you are, but we love you anyway.
Yeah, what little Frankenstein didn't know was that it's okay to be weird, and you don't have to marry someone to pretend that you're not.
Yeah. When you're the baron of a little Swiss village, you can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah, you just be the weird guy.
Yeah. Robert Urquhart as Paul Krempe.
Mm-hmm. Great character.
Yeah. He's the only person with a conscience.
Yeah, he is the moral compass of this movie, and he is not a very good compass.
Yes, he's he's the what's the name? The lady in Alien Earth, Dame Sylvie.
Oh yeah.
That's the Paul character, where I live here and I am attached to this rich weirdo in order to do my good work, and I will try and moderate him as much as I can, but I also need him financially.
Yeah, but what was Paul's good work?
He brought that dog back.
Yeah, but they drowned that dog. You can't call that good work.
I don't know. Did they drown the dog?
Absolutely.
They found a drowned dog.
They found a drowned dog in their lab?
All right. I admit, it's far-fetched.
Someone's puppy stumbled in and fell in our vat.
It's okay. We'll bring it back to life. And I think it was Robert Urquhart that adopted that dog.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me like him even more.
Yeah. Christopher Lee as the creature.
Mm-hmm. And I think as much as I didn't like the makeup, the acting and the character was really good because Lee has dramatic chops.
Yeah.
He also is a great physical actor, even just he's given no lines.
Yes.
And he does a good job.
He doesn't even get to do like the
yeah.
He has no voice at all. He just has to mime everything.
They should have let him make noises.
Yeah, I'd like a grunt or something here or there,
or just like a yell. Ah!
Yeah. And he does like. He's often I've seen him described as moving like a marionette or moving like a toddler. He moves like he's willing everything to happen. Like it's not happening reflexively or naturally. That iconic shot as he takes the bandages off where they do something with the frame rate where they like under crank the camera and then push in on him as he reveals himself.
He kind of looks like a mummy at that point.
Yeah, he's all wrapped up mummy style. And then he goes on to play the mummy in like a couple movies. It's really and then like the way he sort of after he's like been chained up and had his head shaved and everything.
Yeah.
He's so miserable and ashamed seeming, like he doesn't want Paul to look at him, like he's turning his head away. He's doing a lot with very little.
You think Paul was having an affair with the monster as well?
I think most of the monster stuff happened after Paul left.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be fair, Paul shot the monster in the face.
Yeah, true.
The monster has a reason to not like him if he didn't.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that this was a good creature, good monster. It would have landed better for me if he looked better.
I agree. And we haven't mentioned this yet. This is not the first time that Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing appeared in a film together because they're in an adaptation of Hamlet.
Oh.
But it is the first time that they are on screen together and actually did scenes with each other.
Oh. And then they do, what, like 10 more movies or 20 more? Is it an insane amount of movies?
They do so many movies with each other. Like, they're the dynamic duo going forward. And
they're both pretty amazing.
Close friends, like, to the ends of their lives. But so this is the first time that they've been partnered with each other.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, so we got a couple bit parts. We got Hazel Court as Elizabeth, who's Victor's cousin fiance.
Yeah, and her daughter, Sally Walsh, plays the young version of Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. So that's good that they got that resemblance.
Elizabeth is very underserved, as many Elizabeths have been in the past and maybe will continue to be in the future.
I need to write a character that is named Elizabeth who is just a stone badass.
Yeah. And I mean, I do kind of like her. I like her gumption. Like, she wants to be involved in everything. And she's like, I want to help you with your little experiments.
I honestly think that she would have been able to be turned to be, she would have got on
board.
Yeah, she would have got on board.
Here's what we're doing. We're creating life. She's like, wow, how do you do that? Show me how everything works.
It's like, well, you got to use science and you got to use body parts, but they were already dead.
Yeah.
They don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
And mostly these were bad people, although I got the hands from a great sculptor. Don't ask where I got them.
Yeah, you don't talk about that part yet. You sell them on the idea that it's good so that then you can get the ends justify the means as your next argument.
You're like, I got the hands of the greatest sculptor. How's he sculpting now? Yeah. Well,
he's not.
With the money I paid him, he doesn't have to sculpt anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, I liked that character. She was good. And then I liked Valerie Gaunt as Justine, the maid. I love it when she tries to, like, I don't know, blackmail him. Like, she's like, I know things.
Yeah. She thinks she knows things, but she doesn't know shit. And the Baron is so shitty to her. The Call Me Baron thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I listened to that whole, like, podcast series on the Neil Gaiman allegations and his Call Me Master, and it was like, when he said Call Me Baron, I was like, ooh, yeah, no, this feels bad. This is bad, Baron. Shouldn't do this.
Yeah, that's no good. But this character is plucky. Gotta give her that.
She has initiative.
I mean, she gets wrecked, but
dies off screen horribly, we assume, by the hands of the monster. But ultimately gets her revenge in that the Baron is tried for her murder.
Yes,
because everyone thinks he killed her because he knocked her up and wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah, when it doesn't, I mean, that doesn't even really make sense because a Baron can, he can just have an illegitimate child with a serving lady.
Yeah, he's like, most of the people in the village are mine.
Yeah, you're my cousins of some sort.
That's part of how the Baron breeds loyalty in the community. Is everyone is a little bit of a cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her too.
There's some Game of Thrones stuff going on there. And
she doesn't have a long career. She's one of the brides of Dracula, I think, in Horror of Dracula. And then she married a rich guy and stopped acting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
May we all marry a rich guy and stop working.
Yeah, any barons out there? We're already married, but we could come to an arrangement.
Sort it out.
Anyone else that we need to mention?
I mean, that's basically everybody, right?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've got Fred Johnson as the grandpa and Claude Kingston as the little boy, Alex Galier as the priest. But yeah, these are all very minor roles. It's a core sort of like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, it really feels like a 3-person show with a revolving extra.
Never more than 4 at once.
Yeah,
except for the funeral scene.
Yeah.
So I guess we're getting into the wrap-up.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your personal highlight?
So I think this is probably a predictable thing. It's that Peter Cushing's performance as Baron Frankenstein. I love that they made this character he's coldly amoral. Mm-hmm. He does not have redeeming features. He is a monster himself. Frankenstein is the monster.
Yeah.
He's not the creature, but he's the monster. And I loved the performance. I like how he could casually murder these people, but also stay charming somehow.
Yeah, there's like a great he has the monster kill Justine, and then they cut to breakfast the next morning. It's like, oh, pass the marmalade, darling.
Exactly.
You know,
like this,
he's just no remorse at all.
The combination of how this character was written and how this character portrayed, that makes this my favorite Baron Frankenstein.
Oh, cool.
So how about you? What's your personal highlight?
Usually I like to pick a scene or sequence, but I'm going to pick a series of scenes, and it's all the lab scenes.
Okay.
The first one with the dog, the one where they bring in the body of the hanged man and saw off the head and dispose of it. Some of the later creation scenes. Anytime it is Paul and Victor in the lab doing science,
just broing down.
Yeah, and I love the Paul becoming like more and more uncomfortable as you go along, because they're fully on the same page with the dog thing, and Paul's like, we need to publish a paper, we need to take this to all the schools, blah blah blah, and Victor's like, hold your horses, Paul, we got to go bigger first.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, people, we are going to do it with people now, then we'll go get famous. And it's like,
yeah,
there's moral implications to this, Victor. He's like, I don't think there is. and it just, I just love the two of them in the lab together. All those scenes are so much fun to me.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
What worked for you?
I think that the creative decisions to make Frankenstein the true monster rather than the creature it's a bold narrative choice. They did not have to make it because there's already a lot of like precedent and cultural zeitgeist that the Baron is kind of a hapless. I don't know. He's not usually considered the worst person in the movie. He's a guy who made bad decisions. Yeah, but he's not a straight up villain. Right. They made a decision here, and that worked for me. I think that actually makes this Hammer version more interesting than the Universal Baron by a lot. Yeah. I also I have to call out the chemistry that between anytime Baron and Paul were on stage together, amazing. And also, finally, Christopher Lee doing so much with so little given. Bad costume, no lines, still killing it.
He's wearing like Nosferatu's coat, right? Yeah, and zombie makeup, like from the store.
He's like literally like cheesy theater costume, no lines, still killing it. Yeah. So got to give him props for that. What about you? What were for you?
First up, Peter freaking Cushing. Just delightful. I just love him as the Baron, and I see why they made him the star of this series, and I'm eager to see the other movies.
Yeah, because it would have been easy to make Christopher Lee the star, right? Yeah. But no, they made the right choice.
Yeah, they made the right choice there. Eastman Color process. I love the way the color in this movie looks. It's sumptuous. The Kensington gore pops, the costumes and sets, and Jack Asher's camera moves. Everything just looks. It's 1957, and it looks like it's 1963. You know what I mean? It looks ahead of its time, style wise. And then this is the Dream Team. Cushing and Lee, Terence Fisher, Jimmy Sangster, and Jack Asher. it is the people like that make all of the classic Hammer horror movies. This is the first time they're getting together and, you know, knock it out of the park on the first go. So just immaculate vibes from the Hammer team. What didn't work for you?
Got a few things.
Okay.
First of all, delete the framing device.
Oh, you don't like
Just give us more movie, more story.
Okay.
More Elizabeth, more Paul, more monster, a lot more monster. Just delete the framing device. Not needed.
I would. I like it, but I would trade it for more monster.
Yeah, that's the next one. The creature has limited screen time, and he's way underwritten. He has so much less character than Karloff's version.
Yeah.
He has so much less to do on screen. Like, it's like they have this, you know, like an amazing top 10 all-time man of the silver screen playing this guy, and they're just not using him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having a muscle car and you just never get it out of second gear.
Yeah.
It's so lame. Also, I would say that the first half of this movie is really bogged down. The pacing is really slow. I understand that's probably a product of the time, that movies used to be more like a slow burn, slow build. And I don't need it to be like in media res or whatever. I just want it to be not just kind of like Paul and Frankenstein arguing about stuff. Let's just get some more cool stuff going on.
Okay.
It's just a little bit bogged down, and I mean, honestly, I wasn't super invested until like, I don't know, like halfway through the movie.
Like until the monster comes to life.
Until we get the monster, and then shit starts getting real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just things start getting better.
Okay.
Second half is way better. What about you? What didn't work?
Well, it's not the most faithful adaptation.
No.
It's weird that Sangster said, you know, that how much he liked the book and how that was what he was pulling from, because there is precious little of the book in this. Like thematic connections and just sort of the setting and premise, but not much else. Elizabeth, totally underserved, practically an afterthought.
Yeah.
Other than like that Paul wants to protect her or whatever, she serves almost no purpose in the story. She's just there.
She's a beard.
She's just the beard, and you know, they could have done better, and not enough monster. Plus the fact that I've never really come around to this makeup.
Yeah.
But even with that, I can accept that this is what the monster looks like. I feel like we should have got a little more monster time.
Absolutely.
He just felt so underused. Because what do you have? You have the sequence where he comes to life, the sequence in the woods with the old man.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of combine the few. There's like three kind of times we see him in the castle in the end after he's been brought back. So he's in like maybe 5 scenes in the movie.
Totally underused.
And then and we're not even going to see him again. He does a header. He gets set on fire and does a header into a vat of acid. So it's like it's one and done for this creature, and we just didn't get enough time with him.
Sad. Hashtag sad.
Hashtag sad. Final thoughts and rating.
I liked this movie. Definitely liked it. It's not a perfect movie.
No.
I'm giving it a 4. This kind of changed. I like this Frankenstein movie a lot. Yeah. I like it better than the older ones. And I know that's heretical, probably.
Yeah.
I just think that I like the way it looks. I like the characters. I like the acting. So I don't know. I don't think a 4 is crazy, but the Hammer movies are often thought of as schlocky.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't think schlock is not the right word.
Yeah, maybe not.
But I think you're right. That is sort of the thought process that I had about them. Was that
they're not? They're like a tier below the Universal movies.
Yeah, and I think that they are just their era's version of the same thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and like I said, I locked into it in a way I didn't when we watched Horror of Dracula.
Yeah.
And I want to watch that again because I think I'll appreciate it more.
I want to watch more Hammer movies now.
Oh, good. We've got 2 more on the agenda this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to that, to the other Hammer movies because I haven't seen them before. And I also went 4 stars.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this, and it's just a lot of fun to me. Like, I find this to be a very fun, enjoyable movie.
I agree. So Rotten Tomatoes has 85%, Metacritic 59, IMDb 7, and Letterboxd 3.5. So we might be a little high, but it's not a 3. None of these say 3, but
yeah, that 59 feels low.
Well, it's Metacritic. You got a lot. You got a lot of turds. When you let everyone vote, the founding fathers of our country did not want common people to vote because they were uneducated.
Yeah, well,
Metacritic.
I could be brought around to that way of thinking.
Yeah. So I think we're on board with sort of where the zeitgeist is, but I would say for my own personal, my own personal feeling on this movie and where we're at, like this is my second favorite Nosferatu that we've watched.
Or Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, sorry. Yeah. Second favorite Frankenstein that we've watched after Del Toro.
So Del Toro's number 1.
And this is number 2. And so, like, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm quite at number 2.
What's your favorite Frankenstein?
I will also say it's probably the Del Toro. Like, so if you say, like, the big ones now are Del Toro, Terence Fisher, James Whale, and Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Branagh's at the bottom.
But it's still good.
It has its point. It has its moments, but it's the bottom.
Yeah.
And Del Toro's the top, and Whale and Fisher are neck and neck. Like, I can't really put one much ahead of the other.
I actually kind of liked Bride of Frankenstein more than the first one.
And I kind of, because those are short.
You kind of put them together.
They're short movies. I kind of think of them as kind of one movie together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's good stuff. I mean,
First Frankenstein, good.
We haven't watched any bad Frankenstein.
Arguably, Branagh's Frankenstein is not the best.
Yeah, you're right. It's all right. I think I might have ranted a bit during that one.
Yeah, you definitely had something to say about Kenneth Branagh. The movie got away from him.
It really did.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the music and we'll come back with The Vault of Darkness.
Before we delve into the Vault of Darkness, we ask that all initiates of the cult follow us on your favorite social media platforms at Nightshade Cult.
If you've enjoyed this content, help us grow the cult by sharing it with like-minded people and leave us a review wherever you listen.
Did you have any dark tidings?
Nothing other than I just got back from New Zealand. I was there for 2 weeks. It was crazy.
2 weeks down in the Kiwi country.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was great. I mean, the genesis of the trip was that so we want to see every continent together, and so this was, New Zealand is part of the Oceania continent, so counts. And I was like, I want to see Hobbiton. I want to go to those movie sets, and we sort of built the trip around that idea, and it was really, really pleasant. New Zealand is wonderful. Honestly, the only people that I didn't like were tourists. And they were mostly Aussies, honestly.
Yeah.
That was it.
Everywhere you go in the world, there will be Aussies there, and they're having a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
having
they don't
a laugh.
They don't care what you're doing or if they're making a mess. But anyway, not to talk about Aussies.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Zealand's great. If you ever have a chance to go, definitely go. The Hobbiton I expected it to be cool. It was actually literally magical.
Yeah.
Like, it's very special because it's so curated. Like, you go with a private tour. You can't just buy a ticket and walk around. You only go with a guide. That's the only option. And it's timed and paced such that they sell out every day, because they won't allow it to get overcrowded so that people's experience is diminished.
Yeah.
And the guide knew everything. It was crazy. And then also, like, the place is just curated perfectly. Like, we were standing and we'd taken pictures because there's like almost 50 hobbit holes in this place. And we'd taken pictures at this one, and it was like the 30th one.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to ooh and ah over it more. And so I was standing there talking to the guide, and and there were beautiful flowers on the side of the side of it. And I was like, I mean, it doesn't really freeze or it doesn't really snow around here, does it? He goes, oh, no, it doesn't snow around here. But because we're on the North Island, so think like, I don't know, like Central California.
Okay.
It's nice. And he's like, it doesn't really snow here, but sometimes it will freeze, just like a snap freeze. And I was like, so what do you do when these flowers die? He goes, they bring more flowers from the greenhouse that's just over that hill, and they replace them. It is always spring in Hobbiton.
Wow.
It is like, it literally is just beautiful spring all the time. And every set, like, you get to go in the Hobbit house. It's not Bag End. It's the Proudfoot house. Yeah. And it's an 82%, I think, of normal human scale, and so I'm all ducked down and everything, and it's 2,000 square feet in there. It's nuts. It's huge. Yeah. And so, like, I was just blown away. And then you finish the tour at the Green Dragon Inn, where you get to have a drink and have some food if you like, and all of that. And you get to overlook the pond with the mill and the bridge and all of that that's in the movie and everything. And so, it's a magical place.
It definitely seemed like it. Like, the whole trip seemed great.
Yeah, it was pretty rad.
But that is the part that, like, really sparks joy. When I'm looking at the pictures, I'm like, oh, that looks so magical.
It was, and part of the thing was that it wasn't crowded, so that made it really special. And one of the weird, cool factoids about that place is that, so it's at this, I think it's the Alexander farm, but it's this sheep farm, and it's huge. And they were the location scout was flying around looking for a place in a helicopter, not with his arms. So he saw this lake, because you need to have a mill for the Green Dragon Inn to be near. That's just part of it. Yeah. And so he has a lake, and they're like, oh, and then they see off to the side of the lake on a hill and kind of a plateau, there's a whole bunch of huge pine trees, like big ass fir trees, which are not native to there. Okay. And so he goes, and so, but it's perfect though, because it provides just an awesome backdrop, and you see them in so many shots in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And he goes and he's talking to the people, and when they eventually, agree to have it be the set, as it turns out, one of the, their grandfather or somebody who was in the family had fought in World War I, and on the way back, they had been on a ship, and it stopped in California, in San Francisco, before it went to New Zealand. And he saw these beautiful trees, and he gathered up a bag full of pine cones, and he brought them back with him on the ship, and he planted them around the lake on his family's property.
So they're like sequoias.
They're not sequoias. They're like coastal lodgepole pines or something. They're a California breed of coastal long needle fir trees. Okay. We have them around here too. Yeah. We just have the slightly hardier versions of them. But yeah, and I was like, wow, these are like trees from my house. And they were like trees from my house. And so it was really cool, and I really loved it. So I could talk for a long time about New Zealand, but I think that it's worth checking out. I think on one of our year-end specials, I did say that traveling is like my favorite thing. Right. So it remains my favorite thing.
Right on.
So you got any dark tidings?
I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring this up or not, but you probably saw that the world's first and largest Dracula themed
yes, I'm going to that
theme park is planned for Bucharest, Romania. I give this like a 0.01% chance of actually ever happening.
No, it'll happen, dude.
I think this
have faith.
I think this is a scam. I think it's all very shady business. It's all...
It's Eastern Europe. That's normal.
I know. That's the thing. I think that this is a scam to get investments, and this guy's going to ghost out on everyone.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I always wanted to go to Transylvania and go to, like, there's castles there you can sleep in.
Yeah.
This would be even cooler.
It looks very cool, and there's supposed to be 6 different lands, roller coasters. It's just supposed to be like...
Disneyland of Dracula.
Disneyland of Dracula. Or Disneyland of vampires, right?
Yeah,
because
really.
It's like Dracula's castle, but it's also got a London, or it's going to have purportedly a London town and a port of New Orleans.
Ooh,
so it's getting your interview
that?
with a vampire and London After Midnight. And it's just like... It would be amazing if this ever actually happens.
So if it opens, let's just say if it opens.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay, let's just...
I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think this is a real thing, but if it is a real thing, I am happy to go there.
Yeah, let's make that a thing.
I would definitely love to go to this.
And Eastern Europe's super cheap. The most expensive thing is the flight.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and I've talked about it a lot of times. I very much like Romanian people. I think that they're very... they have a unique sensibility about them. And yeah, so I'm intrigued. I would go to Romania, period, whether there's a giant theme park or not.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of really good experiences through the years with Eastern European people, like Romanians, Serbs, Croats, Macedonians. So it's just like, it seems cool to me. I don't speak the language and they don't speak English, but a theme park will make it work.
That will totally make, and if this happens, it will be something special. But I'm just skeptical.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you pulling out of the vault?
Let's go ahead and roll for this. You know, you gotta beat me on the roll. Ooh, 11.
I also got an 11.
Oh, snap! Here we go. 10.
17.
All right, you're up.
Well, so there's a little independent film that maybe you haven't heard of. But watching this movie made me think of a little film called Star Wars.
Oh, you're literally pulling out Star Wars?
It came out in 1977, directed by a young fella named George Lucas, and it starred one Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Episode 4, A New Hope. I'm talking about Star Wars. I want to encourage the cultists to track down one of the versions you can find online of the original theatrical release of Star Wars, whether that's the despecialized edition or if it's Project 4K 77. They are out there. They're not that hard to get, and it is such a treat to watch the Star Wars of your childhood.
Absolutely.
So do yourself a favor and watch that, and if you're just more patient, the theatrical cut of Star Wars is actually going to get a theatrical re-release in February of 2027.
I don't believe it.
That's from StarWars.com. This is... it's more likely to happen than Dracula Land.
Oh, don't crush me.
So watch Star Wars. It's a good movie. You'll have a good time. But not the Disney Plus version. Watch the real one from when we were kids.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What about... there was one other thing I did want to mention. I finally cut the ties with Spotify.
Oh, snap. I noticed you said my streamer earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it now. Yeah, I cut ties with Spotify.
Good.
Besides just the fact that they pay garbage royalties to musicians, the politics of the company suck. The founder's super into drone warfare, and they run advertisements for ICE. And so
Oh my God.
I was like, all right, I need an alternative.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of research and landed on Qobuz.
Okay.
So Qobuz is the audiophile's alternative to Spotify. High-res audio.
Okay.
Highest royalty rates of any of the streamers, so they actually pay artists.
Interesting.
There's a great free trial, so you really can find out what you think about it if you want to sign up to subscribe to them. It's cheaper than Spotify, and it's newer, so it doesn't have quite the creature comforts that Spotify does. Spotify has a lot of features they've built up over the years.
Yeah. It's feature rich for sure.
And it's like the big difference is things are true to their source. So like on Spotify, everything is compressed, and so you can make a playlist, that's got modern recordings and it's got shitty like punk rock singles and things like that, and everything's going to sound about the same quality.
Yeah,
it kind of beefs up the shitty sounding ones and squishes down the good sounding ones.
Yes.
Qobuz, everything sounds like the audio files. So sometimes that's going to be a high resolution, like really strong, well produced audio file, and sometimes it's going to sound like an old single. Because it's an old Black Flag single, and that's what they sound like.
Yeah,
so it's very true to its source.
Does it have you looked for a band or an album and not been able to find it?
Yes, but you have to go very obscure before I was like missing things.
Okay.
Most anything I've looked up has been on there. Your band is on there. All three of your albums are there. Most, I have fairly niche.
Well, yeah, if all the Barrowlands albums are there, so will all both of the Mary Shelley albums, because I use the same distributor.
Oh, to get them up there. Okay, yeah. So it's got a lot of stuff on it. It's just not quite as fine tuned as the way that Spotify is, because it doesn't have as many years of doing it.
Yeah, well, that sounds cool. I'm curious about it because I use YouTube Music,
which is one of the lowest royalty rates.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's I get it bundled in for free because I have like the Google family account for the YouTube ads and the extra storage that we use for this podcast.
Right.
So it's like
you're already paying.
I have it. Yeah, it's just like a thing I get. So I just use it, and yeah, it's not great. But I don't have any ads, so I don't know if they're supporting sketchy politics.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's Google.
Yeah.
They're going to support whatever makes them the most money. They're a megacorp.
Yeah, they are as amoral as Baron Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna pretend they're not.
Yeah, do the free trial, and I encourage the Cultists to do the free trial.
Does it have podcasts? Does it do that? Because YouTube Music does, so does Spotify, so does Audible.
I don't think it has podcasts.
But if
I listen to my podcasts on a different podcatcher.
Honestly, like I switched my podcasts over to Audible, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, so you don't need it for podcast. It's a music lover's streaming site. I was just sort of going through looking at curated playlists, and they're like human curated playlists, not AI curated playlists.
Let's get these guys as a sponsor, and we'll put an affiliate link in next time.
I would love to.
Let's reach out to them.
Yeah, I believe in Qobuz until they sell out to someone, and I have to disavow them
until Spotify buys them.
Yeah, it's just like we can't have people going over there. How will they know about ice recruitment?
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah, check out Qobuz.
Will do.
What are you pulling out?
So this is a cool book series that I started reading. Man, I sure hope I don't think I talked to the Cultists about it. I think I might have talked to you about it.
Okay.
But imagine if like a Brandon Sanderson style modern fantasy story was mashed up with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, like a wuxia.
So it's a cultivation is the genre, which is like a martial arts, zero to hero Chinese genre is the origin of this genre. This was written by a Westerner, though.
Okay.
The series is called the Cradle series. And the first book is called Unsouled, like Souled. So this is this guy named Lyndon is born, and he does not have a family. He doesn't have a knack for a particular aspect of the sacred arts, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style martial arts. He has he is unsouled. So he is like essentially untouchable. And so he uses every trick in the book, every technique he can beg, borrow, steal, or find in an old book somewhere in order to slowly rank up in these martial arts and these life paths. And this really is about a smart hero defeating adversity using cleverness. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's a zero to hero, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes wild.
Okay.
It goes straight up like, oh, now we're in a space station and these super beings are looking down on this place and talking about it. And that's why they call it Cradle. This is like a world where like people are cultivated, and then this dude Lyndon, he encounters one of these crazy ultra powerful people, and they show him the future, the doom of his world, and so he has to do this crazy stuff. It's a 12-book series, and they're all out. It's done.
Yeah,
so you can get into this and know that this is it's done. It's well written. It is very well rated everywhere. It's New York Times bestselling, blah, blah, blah. But here's the cool thing.
Okay.
This started off as a web novel. This dude started it as a web serial, just like Dungeon Crawler Carl, etc. But Cradle is considered the gold standard template for how to do progression fantasy. So if you're interested in progression fantasy, this is like the archetype, the perfect template for how to do progression fantasy.
I see.
And I bought the first 3 books because they had like a sale thing, and I'm a sucker for a sale. And the first one was super darn good. And so I queued up the next few. I'm looking forward to jumping into them. I haven't been listening to as many audiobooks lately. Because I've just been busy, but yeah, I am stoked to read Unsouled by Will White, or I'm recommending Unsouled by Will White,
and stoked to read the other,
and stoked to read the rest. I'm probably going to read the whole series, because it's just really cool.
It sounds cool, and I wasn't expecting the sci-fi angle when you started talking about
Absolutely, I was not either. That's that Brandon Sanderson, because Brandon Sanderson has the Cosmere. Okay. All of his fantasy worlds are linked in a cosmic universe thing, and so that's where that reference. I was trying to figure out. It's like, why didn't you say like, I don't know, Tolkien meets. No, because it's got this crazy cosmic element of linked storytelling.
And that's just not apparent at the beginning. It just gets dropped in later.
It gets dropped in like, I don't know, a third of the way in, and like an interlude, and then you're like, whoa, left turn. Yeah. But the character, it's still character focused. It's still about Lyndon. And so even though his world, his mind is literally blown, so is yours, he's still him, and he still, like, sucks.
he's still someone bad at Kung Fu.
Yeah, he's very bad at Kung Fu.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. All
right, we'd like to thank you for joining the Nightshade Cult.
Until we meet again, we're wishing you unpleasant dreams.